Startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Knoo. Is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and then I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow, send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Well, that's a great recommendation, Quinn.
I'm glad I was able to give the recommendation.
All righty, fantastic. We're glad to have you here, and
Appreciate you again.
looking forward to a good conversation. It's been a little while since we had you on,
Yeah.
but I think it'd be good for you to kind of come back on and share your journey, and so people can know what you're up to and know what it's like to be a startup founder.
It's a journey for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my screen and give a little shout out to the sponsors.
Okay.
First, and get that going. See what we got here. Yes. So we're here tonight as startup founder best practices, and it's all about making sure founders learn the best practices for building a startup. And then if you do that, you can get connected to resources to kind of help you grow. And I was just in the networking we had earlier, and appreciate the folks who chimed in there. And it's like sometimes people don't know where to start. Sometimes they may know where to start, but they also want to scale. We had a couple of folks on that have products and services, but looking for ways to scale that out to more people. And so that's what we're here for, is to try to teach them the best practices, and so they can build scalable business models so they can get the help that they need to move forward. And Carlos, he's always in networking. Yeah. And so we always glad to have him. Yeah. So, but we do all this stuff through our partners and sponsors. So here are some of our partners, and some of them are software partners that make stuff available for you as a founder to kind of help you move forward. Of course, everyone should join the Blacks in Technology Foundation. It's a free membership and offers a lot of training and stuff to kind of get you moving forward. And so they have about close to 40,000 members, and a year or two ago it was over 30,000. So it's steadily growing. But this icon here is for Startup Science. That's one of the training programs we have to kind of help close the knowledge gap for founders. So that's a good tool to use, and it keeps getting better and better. It has all the terms and all the stuff you need to learn to communicate your idea and what you're doing. And it also has a bunch of tools in there to help you figure out things you need to figure out. And it also has a lot of listing of pitch competitions that you can participate in, a bunch of stuff to kind of help you move forward. And most people, Coda is kind of like, can be like your foundation for your company, and where you can kind of, have all your documents and pull all your information in from that you need to run your back office, pull information from whatever app platform you got, whatever your application is. And so it's just an economical way to kind of get the data to run your business. And so we partner with them, and they offer 6 months free of that service with unlimited AI, and it's very, very affordable. Yes, and so you can use AI to talk to all your documents and stuff like that. So, and question your documents. So it's a pretty neat tool. And so I normally tell people, when I tell people about that product, I say, well, 80% of the Fortune 500 companies use that product, and so that says a lot. So, and you as a founder can get it free for 6 months. Yes, and PitchBob is another tool, and they actually got a special going on now where you don't even have to pay anything. That if you get a new subscription to HubSpot, you get PitchBob for free. And they also have a lot of perk stuff, stuff like $25,000 of Azure, 5,000 of Azure. They just all kinds of perks they have that you can get. And of course, we use the Lean Stack program for the training, and through our affiliation with Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, we offer patent training, and we also have our innovation tour that's a part of the Black Founders Summit. So we're going to have the summit and the innovation tour. We're one of the hubs for that. But we're also a partner with Black Innovation Alliance. They just gave out a bunch of money, several $100,000 distributed to the members, and Goody Nation. So Quinn, I'm hoping soon you can get into Goody Nation there, because that would be a good thing for you. And
yeah, I hope so. I might need you to put a word in to Joey for me.
Okay. So because I think they base it on when you fill out that, I don't know if they still do this or not. They have some type of questionnaire that you fill out. It's kind of just show your readiness. And so you should be in good enough shape to get in there. Now, I heard recently that Shantia out of Central Florida, she was able to get in there, and they have a lot of resources. And then the good news too is if you get in, you can become a part of those accountability groups, and that meet once a week. So it's a great opportunity for founders. So Goody Nation, so just goodynation.org. And so, like, for those of you all out there is looking for kind of accountability situation, and they have a lot of perks too for their founders. I don't know how many founders they got now. A couple of years ago, they was like they're in the 700 range. It ought to be way more than that now. But here are some of our sponsors that actually support us financially. So this is and so, like Florida Power and Light, for example, our Lean Stack Black Founder Program thing, they help support that each year. And so, yeah. So if you're a Black founder in Florida and you're not taking advantage of our training, you need to kind of realize here's a company that's paying for you to have access to the training for you. There's my old buddy Ron. Looking forward to seeing him in a couple of weeks.
Hey, Ron.
Yep, and he's our founding sponsor of the Black Founders Innovation Summit. He slapped me upside the head a couple of times. Said, "Boy, you need to have a conference." So we finally did one. Doing it now, thanks to him. Yeah. So Innisfree, they're actually supporting the conference. They're helping with the hotel space for our speakers and stuff. And by the way, if you're coming from out of town and you today is the last day to get the discount reservation, and it's through Innisfree Hotels, and it's the Hyatt at the Pensacola Airport. But just let me know if you need that code. And last year they gave us a door prize for a free, I think it was a 2-night stay, something at any one of their hotels all over the South, from the Caribbean to New Orleans to the islands over there, just I can't even think of the name of those islands, just north of Jacksonville. What do you? What, I can't. You remember that? What's that island? Near Fernando Beach,
Yep.
Amelia Island. I think.
Amelia Islands. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that, and they've supported us again this year with the same door prize.
Nice.
So yeah, and so the first bank is already committed for the summit this year. Let's see who else is committed. Of course, Synergy Ron. Let's see here. The first I said, and then I'm looking for. Looks like I'm looking for Renaissance. They've already committed to. I guess I need to get there.
Nah, they're up there at the top in between industry, huh?
Okay, Renaissance. Yeah, okay. I'm looking for her right there in my face. Yeah, Quinn Breaux, he's already committed. So, and these folks are literally paying for tickets for people to come to the conference. So I basically saying if you can, if you got the money, feel free to pay it. We will help. That'll help us. But like for example, Quint, he's sponsoring 25 founders. Yeah, and so the first is sponsoring 25 founders. Yeah, so these people are serious. They want to help you move forward, and so that's why we're looking forward to a great conference. Quinn, let me go ahead and before you introduce yourself, I'm going to go ahead and finish these slides up real quick. Okay, yeah. So like I said, we're all about making sure you as a founder know the best practices for building a startup so you can take advantage of the resources that are out there. And so we offer the Lean Stack program and the Startup Science program and the Patent Hacks program. And we also can get you into this Co-Founder OS training program as well. So there's no excuse for knowledge. Between these courses here, you can have you have more knowledge than any other founder out there. So that's what that's all about. And the IP thing with Patent Hacks, that's something we have. So if you see this cocoinstitute.org Get Started page, we get access to that training as well, because you need to protect your intellectual property. And so we also with Black Innovation Leaders of Florida has some scholarships for actually filing for your patent and also trademark, but you need to complete the training in order to be eligible for that. And we really need to give away some of those, so definitely get in there and take the training. Yeah, this is what's on our mind right now. The Black Founders Innovation Summit coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. And so definitely register. You can register at either of those links there. And we got a really good lineup for you there. We had Ray on last week, and Quinn, I don't know if you got a chance to see any of that video. He's on fire with all this AI stuff, I tell you. Yeah, he's rocking and rolling. And Bisa, we've had her on this program a couple of times, but she's launching her Microtron AI. She's going to bring some goggles down so you can kind of experience some of the stuff she's developed. Ray will let's make sure you know how to access his app, for my A1C plan. And so that's going to be great. And John, he's hoping to have his one of his teledors here, so people can see how that worked. And Webster has launched his DigPath, digital pathology. He's coming in from Silicon Valley. Josiah is coming in from South Carolina, and like I said last week, he's a prolific inventor. Invented keyless encryption, and he offers cybersecurity training, all kind of good stuff. So he's a really good technical guy. And Dr. Wanda, she'll be here as well. She's part of BILF, and she's launched her AI app as well too. So that's a great lineup. Yeah, AI is a pathway to wealth, empowerment. Legacy is kind of what the theme of the thing is. And so we got Sydney coming in, President CEO, the only black bank here along the Gulf Coast. Savola, she's coming in to talk about some resilience stuff based on all the climate kind of stuff we've going on. And Rose, former NASA engineer, coming in to help you get started with AI. And so Adrian, he's on the ball. He's all excited. He's already booked to come up from the South Florida. He's the product guy. So if you want to learn how to build a product, he's the guy.
Nice.
Yeah, Sharice is the money person. And matter of fact, we're gonna I'll probably get a chance to do this tomorrow. He also has an app called Tap In, and so where all the people that's coming to the conference, you tap into this app, you can get connected to all the people that are attending. So, and Sharice, she's the money person. She's going to lead our money panel thing. And these last two folks are cybersecurity folks and AI folks. So they're really great as well. So we actually got a great program planned for everybody. Yeah. So it's going to be exciting, and so that we're definitely looking forward to getting those folks out here. So everything's coming together, and so we want everybody to participate. There's no barrier to participating or get involved, because you can request a scholarship, and we definitely got you covered there. And Quinn, I hear you're going to be emceeing with Robin at the event.
Yeah, hey, it's always a pleasure when I can MC along the side of Robin Richard, the great Robin Richard.
Yeah.
Full circle moment, man. Y'all do great things for the community.
Okay, appreciate it, but yeah, you and she should be able to have a little fun up there. Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all get y'all tickets.
So like Robin will say, like we kind of do diversity, and one time I guess we had to get up on stage with you and Geraldine, and she said, she said, I'm the old guy, Quint the young guy, and Geraldine's the white person. So so she'll have everybody rolling. So it'll be a good. And she actually wants to have a comedian come, but she's probably tell enough jokes. They kind of get everybody square.
She's funny all by herself. She can make a room laugh.
Yeah, that's good. All righty. So Quinn, I guess what we can do is we can kind of just let you do a little quick introduction, and then we can kind of get into your journey a little bit more. And so I see from this the title of the event tonight, Empowering Influetainers. So that's a term you created, and so and you can take some time to tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, so good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Quinn Breaux. I am the founder of the Knoo. The Knoo is a platform that was created to streamline business for the entertainment industry, specifically focusing on booking and logistics, making it easier for everyday people to find quality talent in the local area. So in short, what we do, we create booking efficiencies. So we're making it easier for you to find those talent in your area. And then we're also consolidating social and streaming analytics on the back end for entertainers to better understand their demographic and their market. Entertainers are on anywhere between 8 and 20 different platforms at any given time. And that's including your social media, that's including your streaming platforms, that's your Apple, your Spotify, all the things. And the influetainer term had just started coming about, more so because one, influencers are also entertainers, and entertainers are now influencers. So the term is influetainers are the modern day crossover of entertainers accepting their power as an influencer. Influetainers have embraced independence to accomplish their dreams to entertain and influence the masses. So no matter if you're a speaker or if you're a preacher, I mean, at the end of the day, people want to feel, hear, and be entertained at the same time. So it's not just the influencer, it's not just the instrumentalist. everybody's now an entertainer. If you got a phone in your hand, you're an entertainer.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, and so I've been following your journey, and so I think so. Let's kind of go to my favorite chart and kind of talk about your journey a little bit. There's different stages of company. Let's just use the startup science thing for an example.
Yep.
So where would you consider yourself along the journey here?
Right now we are 3, so we're between 2. We're in 2 and 3.
Okay.
So we're still early on. We're still beta testing. We're still onboarding early users.
Okay.
Still fleshing out, functionality, getting feedback, and we're slowly but surely going to market at this point and spreading the word.
Okay, good. So that's definitely some good progress. And so and so that was kind of like a life thing, life cycle phase, whereas this is a startup science, something like a lean stack thing, and so these first two things from a milestone standpoint is when you get through all this stuff here, you're kind of like at the founder business model fit, where you actually got to design your business model and it's kind of ready to go. And then in the 90-day, you do your demand validation, where you do your problem discovery interviews, and then you get to this thing where you get this problem solution fit, where you've been out there getting people to buy your product or a service. And so I would say you're probably in this area, here
Yep.
for that. Yeah. And getting ready to to kind of I guess you're probably in between these two areas here. My guess. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so it's a journey, and the journey takes time. And
Absolutely.
so yeah, and we don't want people to quit the job or anything, because
Right.
you've been working on this thing part-time for
About 2
yeah,
years. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of what the deal is. So you got started with us with the before we even had the lean stack program. So
Yeah. When it was just video links.
yeah, yeah, we just had the playbook, and we just but we actually went through a few tools and just testing them out, because
Yeah.
people were actually giving us stuff for
Yep.
the founders to use to kind of move forward. But kind of tell us about your journey, because I remember before you even start trying to hire somebody to develop your software, and now you may be on your second or third developers or something. Just kind of explain
Yeah.
some of that journey to us.
Yeah. So initially, when I had the idea, what I had to do is pretty much go around and have the conversation just to see if it was something that people would even be interested in before I put any more time into it. So it started out just having conversations with those in my inner circle, and then expanding to those in the industry, and just regular people around the community, just having those conversations. Once they were like, yeah, I kind of get it, but I'm not fully familiar with what exactly you're trying to do, I ended up finding a no code platform. There's a couple of them out there. There's Adalo is the one that I ended up going, but then there's another one called Bubble. Adalo is more like your Wix, back in the day when you could just kind of drag and drop and just kind of get something going. So I did some drag and drop work with Adalo, and ended up taking it just enough to where people can log in and then see some of the more stagnant images, but it gave them enough idea of where it was going and where it could go, to where they were like, yeah, no, it makes sense to me. You should put some time into it and see where you can go with it. So then that's when I turned around and I actually hired out a dev shop to do the design and get a full image of what it could be. And that's kind of where that journey really started to begin, not necessarily at the conversation, but once you start getting into the weeds of it all to see exactly what goes into the development process, to be able to fully articulate and talk to a development team to kind of flesh out the idea more so on the full schematics of what you're wanting to produce. So that's where we initially started. And then from there, they did the imaging. Once I got the imaging and the more fine-tuned version of what it would look like, it gave me a little more confidence to get out there and really start talking about it. And then it also gave me some credibility as well when I go and I talk about it, to be able to show somebody this is what we're trying to do, this is what we're working on, this is what we're going to do. It you know, turned a couple of heads and made a heavy impression on quite a few people who's interested in using the platform. So right now, we're actually onboarding new members. One of our goals for this week is to onboard 20 new members. So if you have interest in seeing what that looks like, you can jump onto the Knoo.io and give us your live feedback. We do ask for grace because we're still early, still fleshing out some things. But definitely jump on and just give us your honest feedback whenever you have an opportunity. You can reach out to me directly on all social media platforms, Quinn Breaux, or you can reach out to the Knoo on all social media platforms. And I'll be happy to sit down and talk to you and give you more information if you want to go through some of the questioning. But that's currently where we're at now. I have a full team in-house. So I went through one developer initially, and then I ended up going to another development shop to get it done. It was way too expensive to try to go through the first shop. So it just took me some time to, one, flesh out the idea, pitch it more often, and then better fine tune exactly what we want the functionality to be. But as all journeys, you run into some roadblocks, you run into some hiccups. Second development team wasn't the best. So we ended up having to scrap, some of that old code. And then as I was going through that particular part of my journey, I ended up getting connected to my team now. So, even in the midst of, the lessons learned, there is some opportunities there for you to, find and develop your team. So definitely don't let one roadblock or a hiccup, slow you down as you move forward.
Yeah. So like when you think about, that journey that you were going through there, how did you end up finding some of these people?
So the first developer we're talking about right now.
Any of them. Any of them.
So I got involved in the ecosystem. I know that's the answer. I got involved in the ecosystem. I started talking and having conversation with the people, and then I was able to get references. So, one of the biggest things is don't be afraid to talk about your idea. I know more culturally, that's one of those things that we don't often do. We try to work behind the scenes, make it right, and then go out and, let people know we don't want to, fail or learn those lessons out loud. But, that's all part of the process, as you're growing, as you're building and doing something you've never done before. But definitely got involved with, my team and all the people I've been included with by getting involved in the ecosystem.
Yes, that so you and I went to some events together, and we put on some ecosystem events. So tell us about some of the things how you've been leveraging the ecosystem.
Yeah, so I mean, initially, Startup on the Blocks was my first entry point into the ecosystem. And then from there, as I got exposed to more people, just again, the networking that happened before this, and then getting paired with mentors and things of that nature through Startup on the Blocks, afforded me the opportunity to be able to meet more people. So Startup on the Blocks, went from Startup on the Blocks and then got involved with the local EEG group, the Entrepreneur Ecosystem Group that's here locally in Pensacola. That's through Collab, Pat Rooney. That's an opportunity there for entrepreneurs to kind of get involved in that. During that process, I was able to get involved with 1 Million Cups. So 1 Million Cups is another opportunity for entrepreneurs to get into the ecosystem and talk about their idea in a safe space. But then the room actually gives you feedback. And through that room, you also can find connections, possibly find an investor, possibly find a co-founder. All the possibilities are there just by getting up and having those conversations. And then I know 1 million cups happens on the first Wednesday of each month locally. So you definitely can get involved in that. And that's at 9 a.m. at the Collab downtown. So that's an opportunity.
Yeah,
Um,
almost every major city has 1 million cups that normally happens every Wednesday.
oh yeah, yep,
And
yep,
9, yeah. So no matter where you are, you
yep,
should be able to take advantage of that.
absolutely. I've seen founders kind of time hack and do one event and then turn around and do the next event and pitch, on the East Coast. It's a lot of people don't realize Florida and Pensacola, we're an hour behind everybody, so we get an extra hour. But again, that was another resource there locally. SBDC is another one, the Small Business Development Center. So being able to get connected with them just to kind of flush out your idea, looking for business plans, things of that nature. That's an opportunity for you to get connected within the local ecosystem. Then you got the VMS, the Venture Mentorship Program over at the SCI building. They got a great program for founders that kind of already got some traction and showing some improvement. So that's another one that you can also tap into here locally in Pensacola. Yeah, it's a lot more than what people think that we have. And then we got Startup Source Pensacola, that is the collective organization that pretty much was brought together to further talk about how organizations can get behind and collaborate to strengthen our startup ecosystem. So the ecosystem isn't just local, it is national. So you can also look at other cities. I've been able to tap into other cities in the southern region. So I went through the Idea Village over in New Orleans. I went through their Metronome program. They have the Metronome program was around entertainment tech. So I was able to go through their program. I also went through G Alpha through Generator. That was brought down by Quinn Breaux. So you have a lot of opportunities there. And then that gave me further exposure into that alumni network as I continue to grow and work on my idea and the concept. So I've been going around all the ecosystem and just exploring what opportunities are there. Same rules apply no matter where you're at. So if you're able to do it locally, you can take that and transfer it to another city and do the same thing.
So you mentioned leveraging the ecosystem here locally in Pensacola area, and you mentioned New Orleans. So are there any other ecosystems that you've got connected in?
Yes, I also got connected into Mobile Innovation Portal. They also have a great program over there. They're doing a lot over in Alabama around innovation and entrepreneurship and all startup life. So that's a great one to tap into as well, which is only 45 minutes up the road. Todd and Khadijah doing some great things over there and their team. Then you also have Tampa. I mean, Synapse, of course, is another great one to get involved in whenever you have an opportunity. You just went down there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get involved this year. But yeah,
tell us about the couple of years you were able to go down there.
So I went down there initially with just, the basic concept of what I wanted to do. I was able to set up a booth and all I had was a video kind of just walking people through what it would look like. Or what it could look like. And that way I got involved and people started, following what I was doing in the journey to see the consistency of what I've been able to build over the years. Year one, I went down there by myself. Year two, I had, a smaller team. Year three, I had a full team to be able to go down there with me. And then now we're where we're at now. So it's been a journey, and then there's great connections. You end up bumping into people that are involved in the local ecosystem, in the southern ecosystem. And again, as you're traveling, they're traveling too. So it's always good to see a friendly face on the road.
Yeah. So any other ecosystems?
Atlanta ecosystem. I got involved in the Atlanta ecosystem more recently on the entrepreneurship side. I was already involved on the entertainment side, but I had an opportunity to explore the Atlanta Tech Park. They got a great setup up there. And then also had a chance to explore ATDC, the Atlanta Technical Development Center in Atlanta on Georgia Tech's campus.
Yeah. That's been around a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Carla's got a question in here.
Is creating revenue a challenge for you at this point? Yeah, the main challenge is functionality, being able to do it that way. I initially started out doing it manual, so initially the Know was more on the management and consulting side. So my background has always been in the entertainment business side. So the problem that I'm solving is something that was more so personal to me, and then also being able to explore and have those conversations with others that was facing the same thing kind of gave me more of the confidence to go out and do it. But the whole thing really came about by me shifting from the entertainment industry and working in various industries. So I've worked in entertainment, I've worked in education, I've also worked in banking and real estate. And each time that I shifted from one industry to another industry, there was always a system in place in order for me to do my job as a professional and as an independent professional. But when you turn around and I was looking at what I was doing in the entertainment industry and wondered, well, why isn't there a system in place in order for me to do my job as that professional? And that is what sparked the idea and the need and the confidence and the reassurance that this is something that we need to do.
Okay, yeah, that's the way it works. And so you've been playing a role in building the ecosystem here in the Pensacola area. What how challenging was that?
Uh, well, I already had quite a few relationships with those in the ecosystem, but trying to get everybody to come to the table to have a mutual conversation, people were very supportive, in some ways or another, whether it was with their time, resources, or advice. Everybody played a role with, getting it up to where it is now when it comes to the startup source, Pensacola, and all the things. An ecosystem, a lot of people, when you say the ecosystem, people are like, well, what is that? So kind of when you look at the ecosystem, it involves multiple organizations ranging from the universities, all the way to your chamber of commerce, to your nonprofit organizations that also support the entrepreneurship ecosystem, as well as your local media companies to get the word out. So it's kind of like a car. Like a car needs multiple components in order for that car to move. And that's pretty much how the ecosystem works as well. All the different components have to work together in order for a startup ecosystem to be able to be strong and be able to support the entrepreneurs coming through. And that's whether it's with free resources or at cost or no cost or in kind resources, which Lloyd provides and offers. But there's on that entrepreneurship journey, there's organizations that support that entrepreneurship on that journey. So knowing where you are in that stage and in that phase, you're able to tap into those different resources in the local and national ecosystem.
Gotcha. So yeah, so yeah, you've been making a lot of connections, meeting a lot of founders and organizations, and yeah, there's. So, how would you characterize the number of programs that are out there for founders that founders can leverage to help them with their startup?
It's a lot, and it's even more when you look on a national level, because I know you send out a list of opportunities on a weekly basis. So just going through that list, I mean, you'll be impressed by what's available. But when you start looking at, again, Y Combinator, Generator, Techstars, um, it's just so many different opportunities out there for entrepreneurs to take advantage of. Then you got Pharrell with the Black Ambition. I plan on applying for that too as well. But there's a lot of resources, a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs to get involved and get engaged. It's just really getting out there and exploring to see what is all available to you.
Yes, and uh, yeah, Tony, I think applied for that last year, and he didn't get in, but they gave him a bunch of freebies and stuff, a lot of in-kind stuff that just for applying, and that's what I always say. You apply so you can learn how to fill out the applications, and then as you become known. And people can see your growth. So, like in your case, you know, um, when you first went to Synapse, people saw where you were and what stage you were at, and then when you come back a year later, they see you making progress. And then same thing in New Orleans. You enter a program over there, and they see you making progress. That's what gives you credibility to get you in other programs that actually give you money to help you're on your journey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, consistency is key in this whole journey.
Yeah.
Staying with it, you know. How the saying go, those who succeed, they just never stopped at failure. They just kept going.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the best way I can explain it, by you participating in programs and people see you making progress, that's your credibility. It's
Yeah,
it's, it's the same thing if you were going to get a business loan and they want to look at your credit score. So in the startup world, they don't look at your credit. They look at your credibility through the stages of the startup life cycle of milestones that you're reaching. That's what gives you the credibility for somebody to say, well, yeah, we can get in this program and you can get this 25,000, 50,000, whatever. So when I was getting ready to leave Synapse last week, I was Caleb Williams came by our booth, and yeah, Caleb got a lot of great things going on, and so I said, are you going to apply for the 35 Muse program? He said, what is that? And so I said, well, the booth is right up here. We're going to walk by the booth, and so we went up to the booth and saw Danielle and Monique up there,
yeah,
and so Caleb started pitching what he was doing, and they started smiling and everything. So it was pretty neat. So the deadline for the application was on the 1st, which was Tuesday, and so Caleb sent me his video and everything that he had created, and he was serious, rocking and rolling, and
nice.
so he was able to get his application in. I think a few other people got their application in, and the neat thing about it is it's $100,000. Where they don't take any equity, and you get help from what in essence, Florida Power and Light is a Fortune 200 company, and they're owned by NextEra Energy, which is the largest energy company in the world. And so you're going to have this type company backing you up, helping you get connected to stuff you need to move forward. And so and that's it's kind of a different opportunity, but when you log on to these sites like f6s.com and build up your profile, there's no shortage of opportunities. Let me see if I can type that in here. But yeah, so would you say you're fairly well known as a startup, Quinn?
I would say fairly.
Yeah.
Still room to grow, but yeah, definitely known for what I'm working on here in the ecosystem.
Oh yeah, so this was interesting. When I was coming up with the title for this event tonight, I was saying that I'm going to be interviewing Quinn Breaux of the Knoo, and I turned on the web search with that, and it knew all your background and everything, so it helped me with the with the thing. So if you're out there making waves, that information is being captured to kind of help you move forward. And so people have to know you. So when you apply for a program, and believe it or not, a lot of people go look at your success.com profile and send you invitations to actually apply for their program.
Yeah. On the topic of platforms, though, if they haven't had an opportunity to get on to LeanStack, is a great one. But I really enjoyed Startup Science.
Oh yeah,
It kind of took you through that whole journey from the idea stage, but then also getting you familiar with how you need to pitch it and talk about your idea when you start seeking investment and having those conversations as you grow and scale your company.
Yeah, and so the so I think you were one of the first ones that hopped on the platform because they had this 2-week pre-accelerator thing.
Yep.
And I think after you got on, I hopped on there, and we became partners with them, and so now they got all these courses that you can take. And a course is something that's 4 to 8 minutes, and so where you can get the information you need. And so that's kind of a neat thing there. So you can start anywhere you want in here, but it's best to get in here and explore what's in here. So if you ever need to know about something, you can hop to that course and take it. You can either look at the video or listen to the audio or actually read. But the neat thing about this course is the material was generated, by a gentleman that went through 12 exits, totaling billions of dollars. And if you hadn't got his book yet, that definitely what's his name, Gregory Shepard, and he's a down-to-earth communicator. You get asked a lot of these questions when you're filling out application. You'll know how to fill out any and every application just based on this material that's in this platform here. So they've got a lot more courses now, and so that's a pretty neat thing. And then they got these tools here that you can, because one of the things you always get, what's your TAM, SAM, and SUM, and so there's a tool in here to help you calculate that. Your ecosystem acquisition finder, this is a tool to help you figure out who's more likely to buy your company so you can have an exit. So if you're looking for partners, this is the tool that helps you find partners. And if you're unsure about who your competitors are, here's a tool that actually helps you do that. Now, if you need to raise some money, there's a database to search for that. If you want some non-diluted capital where you don't have to give up equity, there's a whole list of stuff for that. So it's just on and on and on all these stuff. This is my administrative thing, so it's got a little bit more stuff in it. But yeah, it's greatly improved, since the early days. And that was like 2.5 years ago, right, Quinn?
Right. Yeah, it's been some time. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, a lot of that wasn't in there for sure when I was in.
No, they've been working on this nonstop, and so like when you fill out the applications for our to take out training or our Start on the Block program, we add you to these training things so you can have access to them. And so you literally don't have any excuse not to know some business related terms, how to get connected to what you need to get connected to. And that's what's so powerful, is that all this knowledge is there. You as a founder just has to reach out and admit you don't know everything.
Right.
And that's hard for some of us founders to do. Yeah. And I had a interview today, Quinn, with some professors trying to do some research on startup founders in AI, using AI.
Yeah.
I said some of my founders they don't like the fact that the AI is smarter than they are.
It's the way of the future. It's where it is right now, really.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it, when you don't know something, or when you need to know something, even if you think you know, it's good to hire a consultant, to get all the information.
Absolutely.
But it's everything's came a long way now, and so if you don't know how to do something, these AI tools can literally answer your questions for you. And so once you get connected to us, so if you're out there and you get connected to us, we'll connect you with our Black Founder resources, and so we got the stuff that is, well, this is just telling you what the Black Founder program is all about, and this is kind of outlining what the 30-day business model design, so you can get an idea. And we've created a podcast and some prompts to get you through that. Same thing with the 90-day program. We used a Notebook LM to create a podcast, but if you want to just to get an idea, and what I found out, Quinn, a lot of people won't take time to go through the 90-day program, and that's where you actually learn how to sell what you build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what's so powerful. And like today, Tony was talking about he leveraged Notebook LM to help create his Mafia offer, and that's the sales pitch or offer that nobody can refuse. It's, and so that's so he's making progress. And I want to, since if I guess we got a minute, I want to just because you go through some sprints, and let me see, can I blow this up a little bit, because I think people underestimate the value of this, and we have some founders going through this right now. And the first 2 weeks you learn about the whole program, and you learn about the sprints you're going to do, and I think there's about 5 sprints. But what's unique about these problem discovery sprints is it's based on some scientific research, and so in those days you did focus groups and all kinds of stuff. But what in this 90-day program, it's more about doing more problem discovery by interviewing people that has recently purchased something similar to what you're selling. But when I say recently, in the last 90 days. And so you can conduct these 10 to 15 interviews, and there's a list of questions you have to ask, but you tailor them to based on the product. And so you get a lot of insights from those interviews. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to learn what the person was using before they purchased this new product. And you're trying to find out why they switched, because that's what innovation is all about. Getting people to switch from what they're currently using to what you're selling. So you go through this exercise to learn the psychology of what it takes to get somebody to switch. And so people say, well, they got a product, they're building something that's new, and so there's no competition. Your competition is what they're currently using to solve that same problem. So right now, in your case, Quinn, people are getting paid for doing for performances or gigs or whatever. So they're doing something, and with your platform, you got to be able to convince them to switch from what they're currently using to your platform.
Right.
And so you doing these interviews of people who recently purchased something to learn all those customer forces that cause them to switch, and what they're still not satisfied with. So when you do your Mafia offer, you know what their problem is better than they do, and
Right.
you have a better chance to get them to switch. So you do, and so once you do these first broad match ones, you upload those to the Customer Forces tool, Customer Forces AI tool. So AI instantly generates this Customer Forces story that's literally telling you the psychology of how to get them to switch from what they were doing to to a new product or service. And then doing that broad match is with several different customer segments. Then it'll show you which customer segments are jobs to be done, and then you use that to focus on this narrow match. Gotcha. And narrow match interviews of a particular customer segments. And same thing, you're doing 10 to 15 interviews, to kind of do there. And from all that information you gain from the AI, and the AI evaluates these recordings instantly, and develop these customer forces story, and so on and so forth. Then you do like your solution design, your Mafia offer. This is what Tony was talking about in the networking today. And then so we just had this workshop last week. Next week we'll do this Mafia optimization. But the reason why I wanted to go through this, Quinn, um, through the last 2, 3 90-day things we did, most people, the people have been having trouble finding people to interview. So what would you say if you're having trouble finding people to interview? What's going to happen when you get ready to try to find customers?
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have a problem. You need to go where your customers at.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so the big deal, I just want people to understand this is a process that you can learn, and it'll enable you to sell whatever your product service. Even if you already selling something that already exists, you can literally learn from this process to kind of move forward. But in order to get people through these 2 training programs, we developed some prompts, that'll help you with what you're doing. And so this business idea prompt, it does all this stuff for you that the 30-day program does. And then just this operation prompt, that's just for any business. It'll walk you through, developing all the process you have and all the tasks related to those processes, and then developing the workflows for those that you use to get work done, and then developing a SOP. And now, since we have like 10 coaches or more, but even if you can't get hold to the coaches, we develop some agents that you can talk to anytime you want to get information. And these agents know all about the training. And so these, like this lean startup agent, demand validation agent, so they can definitely help you. We partner with Pitch Bob, and so that's available. And today I was looking on the Pitch Bob site, and they have this new thing that you can just do to kind of help you get started. And so let me see if I can blow this up something. But these are just things that can help founders out to get started. So you don't have to pay anything for this, and it'll help you with your market segmentation, end user profile table, persona table, value proposition canvas. Just by answering a few questions, you can get this documentation generated for you. And I put that in the email today, and I'll put it here in the chat. Now that's something that leveraging the AI can kind of help you get going there. And so and there are a lot of platforms out there. This is just a couple that we kind of recommend. And then all these AI platforms. So we use TaskAid to build the agents. Like I said, Coda, store all our data. And then this is a tool that Vince, one of our level 3 coaches, did, and it'll help you with the 30-day and 90-day stuff. And some of these other new tools that are out there, I haven't put the links here yet, but those are tools that you can actually use, to kind of help you build your MVP. And then we got some testimonies from people taking the courses, and then we have some where you can connect with our coaches. So get involved with us, and we'll connect you to all that stuff. And so Quinn, the one thing I kind of want to point out, even though you've actually been through the program and everything, the 30-day and the 90-day, you still we want to make sure you're connected to these resources to kind of continue to help you move forward.
Well, yeah, I still tap into quite a few of them, just to continue to sharpen the skills. As you go through your journey, some things you need a quick refresher on.
Yeah.
So it's always good that you keep those open to everybody who's been through your program.
Yeah, and while you're going through your program or getting started with the program, and so that's basically what we're here for, to help founders on their journey. So like you can come in and ask questions anytime, and so I have office hours every Saturday from 1 to 3 Central Time, and so you can tap in to that. we're definitely just here to help founders out and take away all the excuses that a founder can have to kind of move forward. And leveraging resources is the name of the game.
That's it. And having those conversations, not being afraid to just jump out there and have the conversation. It all starts with a conversation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely starts with a conversation. Yeah, if you're trying to build something, people need to know you're trying to build it, because they don't know that you're trying to build it, they can't help you.
Right.
And it's literally as simple as that. If you this day and age, you have the AI stuff out there to at least help you get started, and just 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 you have to admit it. Like I don't think I'm the smartest guy in the thing. If I don't know something, like a simple thing like Ash always talk about the rollout plan, and then and other people, they talk about the go to market things. So I'm trying to say, well, what's the difference between the two? So I'm not too embarrassed to go up to ChatGPT or one of these AI agents and say, what's the difference between a rollout plan and a go to market strategy? And
Right.
it tells you the answer.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely got to use all the resources that's available. And I mean, Chat GPT and all the other ones, Gemini, you name it, is available to you. I mean, I even use it myself to more so confirm whether it's an idea or a thought or a concept. I'll have a conversation with it just to verify, to make sure I'm tracking in the right direction. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly right. So, it's definitely your superpower right now to kind of level the playing field for you to move forward, and that's what our summit is all about. You don't have to have no experience. You can attend the summit and you can learn how to use some of these tools. And so you're going to meet people that are at the beginning stage. You're going to meet people that using AI and have built their leverage it to kind of build your. Hold on just a second, Quinn. What you got? Yep. Alrighty. Yep. And so so just you're going to meet all different levels, and what's her name? Lisa. She done built the whole platform for founders to use, and so yeah, and she's bringing her her goggles or whatever you call them.
yeah,
Yeah, so people can experience some of the tech she's built, and yeah, just it's going to be a great thing, and I definitely appreciate you supporting with the helping with the MCing and stuff.
I'm looking forward to the whole day or the whole 2 days and
Yeah.
get to know everybody and what they're working on, and hopefully we meet some of the folk that was able to tune in and have been tuning in.
Oh yeah, and I think that tap in thing, I'll make sure I email that out to everybody, because everybody can see who else is registered, and you can connect and kind of move forward. Even at the networking today, the folks who are passing information around and helping each other out, and so Tony, he's in there coaching them how to use the AI stuff to do stuff, and yeah, so it's fantastic. But you got the knowledge available, you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, don't let it go to waste.
Yeah. So what kind of parting thoughts do you have for founders out there based on your experiences and stuff, Quinn?
Hey, whatever your dream is, whatever your vision is, go for it, try it. The worst thing you can do is not do anything with the gifts God has given you. So go
Yes.
for it, use it, and best of luck to you.
All righty.
Stay consistent.
Yeah, yeah, that consistency, and yep, and I can literally say, like I've seen you working on your stuff. I've seen you involved in the ecosystem, and so it's a good testimony. Yeah, and the only thing I would suggest you do, apply for more pitch competitions so you can get some money.
Yeah. I'm adding that to the list.
Yeah, because
Adding accelerators.
but that's the number one thing that forced me to understand what I was doing and how to articulate what I was doing. Every time I applied for something, it forced me to learn more. Every time I, got to participate in a pitch competition, it forced me how to say what I was doing more clearly and concisely.
Yeah.
And when that $25,000, $5,000 check rolls in, or all these free services roll in, you feel good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No
All-
equity.
yeah, that's right. And so, all righty. Well, so we're looking forward to. We got a couple more good guests leading up to the summit, but you all take advantage of the stuff that's out there. Feel free to reach out anytime. And so we definitely glad, and so we're glad to have Dr. Russ on board.
Thank you,
He's
Doc.
yeah, he's got a whole set of training material. He's in the organizational development, so we're so glad to partner with him. We actually just met him down at Synapse last week. Yeah, and so he's all signed up and on board, and we're going to be leveraging him to help the founders as well. And so he's also got a podcast out there that's available. So yeah, Google Dr. Russ Bonds and figure out all what he's actually got going on. So yeah. So we appreciate everybody that's participating, and we look forward to everybody staying connected and everybody helping each other move forward. Thanks again, Quinn. And I guess if you hang on a minute, it'll be good.
Okay.
All righty. See y'all next week, everybody.
Here's a detailed breakdown of our Black Founders Program achievements and components. Program Reach and Impact, Global Reach, supporting over 500 founders worldwide, focusing on Black founders who often encounter systemic barriers in the startup ecosystem. Training and cohorts, delivered structured, hands-on training over the past 2 years. 9 30-day business model design cohorts, guided founders through designing scalable business models using the Lean Stack platform. 3 90-day launch programs, supported startups in validating demand, launching solutions, and refining their offerings. Our first Black Founders Innovation Summit attracted 92 in-person attendees and 182 registrants. Included networking events, speaker presentations, and panel discussions to provide diverse perspectives and practical insights. Training platforms used. Lean Stack, focused on scalable business model design and launch, with practical tools for customer discovery and validation. Startup Science provides education tailored to each phase of the startup lifecycle. Co-Founder OS measures entrepreneurial skills, offers certifications, and provides frameworks for building confidence in navigation the startup ecosystem. Patent Hacks trains founders on intellectual property, including patents and trademarks, to protect and leverage their innovations. Key goals and focus areas. Knowledge and resource bridging helps founders acquire critical startup knowledge, connections, and opportunities to secure funding and resources. Scalable Solutions emphasizes building sustainable, scalable business models to ensure long-term success. Diversity and Inclusion supports Black founders by providing a space where their unique challenges and perspectives are addressed. Event highlights over 200 consecutive weekly startup founder best practices events since October 2020. These provide ongoing support, practical insights, and networking opportunities for founders. 10 demo days, which serve as accountability milestones where founders pitch present progress, e.g. the 3P progress report, persevere, pivot, or pause. Focus on wealth creation in emerging industries, encouraging Black founders to participate in opportunities like AI and other tech innovations. The Black Founders Program reflects our strong commitment to equipping Black entrepreneurs with the tools, knowledge, and ecosystem connections they need to succeed.